So let's continue because this is the part two of the video we just made recently that I said that we are still posting. So the journey of Eve is the life journey of Eve is thought and obedience. So she was given an option by life to choose her thoughts or her obedience. This is this is to show you how important obedience is and the meaning of obedience. Obedience does not require your own thoughts. Once, just like when your boss in your office asks you to, hey, arrange these papers for me, you don't begin to, should I arrange this stuff? Should I arrange this document? Should I sweep his office? You dare not, right? So why would the word of God command you and then you begin to think, should I do this? Is the Lord looking at me? Are you crazy or something? Because when your boss gives you command at the office, you don't thought. At that moment, once you get to your office, once a command is being given to you, you silence your thoughts. Because you believe that at that moment, your thoughts shouldn't rise. Because you know that even if you rise, you will silence it because you are afraid maybe your boss is gonna sack you because you have the intention, the awareness of implication of bringing your own thought that will end up making you disobey your boss. He will sack you, he will fire you, right? That is how it is. Why don't we bring that mindset that we use at the office towards our life journey? Because you don't know that is different. Do you know that? Do you know that working at the office as a bank manager, whatever, really, whatever thing you're working at, do you know that? And also having children, do you know that is not even your journey? I promise you that. I promise you that is not the purpose of your life on earth. I promise you, with whatever thing you believe in, that is not the purpose of your life on earth. In case if you don't know, you have a purpose, you have a journey of life. Now you need to pass the test. You really need to. I'm not like, look at me, I'm not here to, you really need to. For example, that if fail that test, right? We can clearly see that she failed that test, but yeah, her failing the test is also part of the journey. But it was written in the book of eternity, or she chose to fail. Maybe for some reasons she chose to fail. The journey of her life was given to her. She failed it. Because if she had chosen obedience over thought, she would have passed, planting the seed of obedience on earth. Because whatever test that is being given to you, when you fail or pass it, either the seed that you plant on earth uplifts humanity or destroys humanity. That is something you need to understand. Now, when the sin, because after the disobedient, automatically she has failed the test, making evil flow on earth back then so much that the Lord has to choose someone else for a new journey, a new beginning of journey of life, which is Noah. So Noah was the second person that was chosen to refresh, like to restart the journey of life again. Are you really getting what I'm saying? These words actually are flowing from a place, should I say heaven or unknown place, maybe eternity, maybe home, but somewhere beyond your imagination. After the creation of Adam and Eve, of course, human beings are meant to, go through tests to pass the journey of life. Eve failed the test of life. Eve failed. Repeat it with me. Eve failed the journey of life, the test of life, making her planting the seed of disobedience on earth. Now, she planted the seed of disobedience on earth, making her the next generation that was coming that period, coming with the spirit of disobedience that came from Eve, the spirit of disobedience that Eve planted, making evil flow back then. And then the Lord has to appoint Noah Do you know what we call release? The Lord appointed Noah with the spirit of release, or should I say the spirit of cleansing. Of course, the spirit of cleansing. So the Lord appointed Noah with this, with the journey of life in, with, like, the Lord appointed Noah to accomplish the the journey of cleansing on the surface of earth, meaning to cleanse the evil that Eve has brought into existence. That is it. So, so the journey of Noah, excuse me, the purpose of Noah, his calling was to cleanse the earth from the sin that was committed, or the sins of disobedience that was committed through Eve. Not only that, because now this is to tell you that whatever thing you do affects the next generation, not only you. So either you do good, the good you do today affect your next generation, or you do bad, the bad you do today affects your next generation. Your bloodline, as long as your bloodline keeps breathing, they keep inheriting whatever thing you left for them. So the next generation after Adam and Eve inherited the spirit of disobedience from Eve, making the Lord appoint Noah for a new generation with the spirit of cleansing. Because to begin a new generation, you need to clean the old. You need to clear off the old. And that is why Noah stepped in. That is when Noah stepped in. Noah was used to cleanse the earth. Noah passed his test because the cleansing was done. The saving of animals, different, like both genders, was achieved. The purpose of keeping his family for the creation of the new beginning of new generation, like I said, was also done perfectly. As a matter of fact, they went with the Holy Spirit, who will monitor if the water has really dried, for them to return for the new creation of generation. That is that dove. That is the dove. Now, I want to tell you something. Listen very carefully. Thought is the beginning of disobedience, but a young disobedient who has not grown into the action of disobedience. When you give birth to a baby, the baby begins, first of all, the baby has to learn to walk, learn how to speak. Is a transformation. So when a command is being given to you, immediately you begin to think. Then you are beginning to learn how to walk in disobedience. Your thinking, instead of disobedient in action, is you learning how to walk in disobedience. That's the first step of learning how to walk in disobedience. Immediately you begin to think, begin to pause over obedience. When you begin to desire, then your disobedience is beginning to have roots. Now, when you now take the action of the disobedience, you have totally claimed that spirit. That was what happened with Eve. So after the Lord has appointed Noah for the new beginning of new generation, and the cleansing has been done, because I know it has been done, because the both genders of animal, females, human beings, some of Noah's family generation, even the Holy Spirit, they went with everything, and even the rain happened, the flood happened. So it's a mission complete. It's a test complete. Noah passed his fucking test. And that is why his passing of his test gave birth to Abraham, the father to obedience. You see, have you asked why Abraham is called the father to all nations? After the cleansing of Noah was made. Did you understand what I'm saying? Listen again. Abraham is known, you and I know Abraham as the father of many nations, and be all nations, right? Exactly. Have you wondered why was Abraham declared the father of many generations or many nations immediately after the cleansing of Noah and his family? Yes, after cleansing, a new generation begins, like I said earlier, and the new generation began with Abraham. And along beginning with Abraham, do you know Abraham was brutally tested by life? Let me explain. Abraham was brutally tested by life to see if he is truly the spirit of obedience. Because Abraham is the spirit of obedience. To see if Abraham is truly the spirit of obedience, he was brutally tested. Starting from, he doesn't ever have a wife. He was called, move. I will show you a place you go. Move. That was the Lord speaking. That is test all along. His wife, they lack children. You know, he was a stammerer. So he even as a matter of fact, after even when he ended up giving birth, he was also tested to kill his child. Now listen, Abraham was tested to kill his child, but guess what? How you would know? What a clarity today. What you would know about Abraham is that when the Lord asked him to kill his child, did you see that he never said, Lord, why would you ask me to kill my son? Did you understand? He didn't ask because obedience doesn't ask questions. Obedience moves in action. That is why Abraham is obedient. That is, listen to what I'm saying right now, because the word I speak is way heavier than you can think of. When the Lord said, take your son to the mountain where I'll show you, offer him to me, Abraham never asked, Lord, why do you want me to kill my only child? Why did he not ask that question? Because obedience doesn't ask questions. The name obedience is action in obeying whatever command that has been given. That is Abraham. So let me arrange the words to you again. So whenever you hear the word THOUGHT, thought, just know it in mind that you are speaking or you are vibrating on the energy of Eve, the beginning, the root of all evil. Just know it. So from today onwards, silence your thoughts. Your thoughts are your demon. Your thoughts are your demon as long as they don't want to step. As long as your thoughts don't want to step down for obedience, they are your demons. Because now the war is between Abraham and Eve. Okay, so listen very carefully now. Eve is thought. Noah is cleansing. So Eve is the spirit of thought. Noah is the spirit of cleansing. Abraham is the spirit of obedience. Here the journey pause. Let me break it down. The journey pause because the battle has been internal war since ages. Because these beings are beings of light. Abraham is a being of light. Eve is a being of light. Even though she failed her test, even though she failed her journey, but she's a being of light, a divine being. So when somebody fails their test, you shouldn't follow the way of a failed test. So now, let me tell you something. Because of obedience, the Lord, this is how the Lord loves obedience. Because of obedience, the Lord couldn't move forward from the lineage of obedience. That is how much He loves obedience. And then He extended. Did you hear that? He extended His covenant with obedience. Did you understand what I'm saying? Just read the Bible, then come back to this word if it's going to click. I don't know. Because of this is to show how much the Lord values obedience and respects obedience. Because of obedience, the Lord extended His covenant. His covenant. What should I say the Lord? With obedience, making Isaac, Jacob, coming forward. Those are the lineage of obedience. Because obedience is the gateway to the heart of God. Mind you, the war. So that is to say, if the Lord extended the covenant between Him and obedience for generations to come, in fact, to the extent that to a full nation of obedience, which is known as Israel. Israel is the full nation of obedience, starting from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are the lineage of obedience. That is to show that Abraham passed his test also. So, after the beginning, Eve failed the test, which makes the story of life but very, very much confusing to anyone who doesn't know. Because you wouldn't know if I don't speak clarity to you right now. The reason why it seems, of course I know, the true word that thoughts and obedience are fighting. Now I'm using myself as an example right now to show you or to confirm what I'm saying to you, that I'm not here to play with you. I'm not here to joke with you, right? So here we go. Some days ago, I think some months ago, I went to get some yogurt, right? I want to get some yogurt, right? And I normally buy the big size. So when I got there, I didn't see the bigger size, but I opened the fridge, and then immediately my hand moved by itself, stretching to the small yogurt. For the very first time in my life, I paused in that moment for some seconds. I paused my hand in grabbing that small yogurt, and then the thought stepped in. I don't drink this small yogurt. No. Why are you buying it? I don't drink it. And then I withdrew back because truly, I don't drink the small size. But in going there to buy this yogurt, I had a word that said, "Pick that small yogurt." Even though I didn't see the small one I need, but that word that hit in my ear that said, "Pick that small yogurt," was a command. It was a command. That word never required my thought that, oh, I don't take the small yogurt. Of which, yeah, it's true, but that word, obedient, that word requires obedience, not I don't take the small yogurt, so why should I buy it? Because that was my thought. And the thought doesn't mean harm, but it's dangerous. When the thought grows, it begins to challenge obedience. So, thought is a dark chosen one. Thought is a dark being. Where me personally, agreeing, should I say agreeing or declaring thought as a dark being today? Why? Because because she disobeyed the command of God, making her a dark chosen one. And obedient, we have to adapt thought now in washing thought. In obedient has to adapt thought now into their bloodline, meaning Abraham has to adapt thought now into his bloodline so that thought will be rooted under obedience, the lineage of Abraham. But let's continue. So I said, why should I take this small yogurt? I don't drink it. But what I had immediately when I got there was, take the small yogurt. And then I said, I began with my own thoughts. Did you understand what I meant? So on my way going home, I saw this little girl that normally, that normally feels excited seeing me. She normally greets me, she normally respects my presence, and that makes me love to offer her some gifts. So when I was coming back, I saw her, and then I searched my bag if I got anything for her, and there was nothing I could give her other bottled water and some other big stuffs. And then I said, wow. I paused on the road. I was like, wow. So this word, this command that actually came with clarity after my obedience. Because clarity will not come without obedience. So I said, so this is how it is. I paused on the main road. I said, so this is how it is. I felt bad that I didn't even offer the girl anything anymore. So I began to think, and I've gotten to almost my house. So I began to think, what? So that word that said pick the small yogurt knew that I would love to offer the small yogurt to the girl when I met with her. But I snubbed it because my thoughts came in because I thought it was the command that came was actually looking after my own good. But no, that thought knew that command that came knew that I would meet somebody along the way. So this is to say that after obedience comes clarity. You see, clarity would never come if you don't obey. So you obey first, then clarity comes. So that is what it means. As a matter of fact, these messages I'm even giving you right now, even me, I'm getting clarity in it. Honestly, I'm getting clarity in this message itself. So you move in obedience, then clarity follows. So this is to say how many things obedience controls. Obedience controls clarity. And now we are placing thought under obedience also. So that's how obedience controls a lot of things. So we make thought seems to, of course, thought is fighting. So this is the ecclesia. I said that thought is fighting with obedience. True. Not because I wasn't really willingly to obey, but thought has lost its way. Thought doesn't even know when to be silent. In fact, thought is ready to challenge obedience. Like thought is lost as you are right now. Thought is a lost being. Like a fucking lost being. In fact, thought lost in the journey of life, making thought a barrier. So take my word very seriously. When a word is being commanded, just like I am here, when I command you on anything, do it immediately. Don't come in with your own thought. Your thought doesn't know anything. Your thought is your biggest enemy. Because that your thought now that you want to give space in you in your mind, in your being, is what led Eve into disobedience. Starting from, oh, so I will not really die if I eat this fruit. So I will be like God. That is so I'll be like God. That is desire. That is thought. First of all, oh, so I will not die if I eat this fruit. That is thought. So I will be like God after eating this fruit. That is desire. So when I eat this fruit, nobody will command me again. You have grown enough to disobey. You take action after that final thought. Everything is thought. The desire is thought. The fact, every evil is rooted on that thought. Every evil is rooted on that thought. Is rooted on that thought. Thought is a very big, strong barrier that humanity really has to break free from. Humanity has to break free from thought. Thought is a barrier. You break free from it when you live by the awareness of thought, whereby when a command is being given to you, before you take decision, you pause a bit, just maybe some minutes or some seconds. You pause, you say, this is my thoughts. That don't even let your thoughts rise. Don't let it rise. It doesn't know anywhere. You see, your thought doesn't know anywhere. Your thought is the root of you being lost. Your thought is the root of your anxiety. Your thought is the root of every bad thing that is happening to you today. It is your thought. Because whatever thing you think, you feed your soul. Whatever thing you think, your soul accepts it. Whatever thing you think in your mind, you like when you think with your mind, your soul digests it. Do you understand what that means? Whatever thing, and your thought always can never be good when it's not rooted on obedience. So that is to say, thought is meant to be loyal to obedience. That is why the war between the spirit of Eve and the spirit of Abraham is internal. And the war would be over immediately humanity begin to obey not only the word of God, but your senior, your parents, even the kids. Let the spirit of obedience flow. Let everybody silence their thoughts. Thought is going to lead you to elsewhere. When the spirit of obedience flow, then you see that obedience will begin to align with thought, making your movement perfect. But when you move by thought, you won't give obedience chance to step in, making thought mislead you like it misled Eve. Just like me, I've received a lot of thoughts. A lot of commands, and when I do receive them, then I begin with my own thoughts. Do you think this? Do you think this? That is why I said I'm speaking from a place of experience. I'm not here to play mind game or manipulate you. Do you do this? Do you do this? Do you do this? You know what I'm saying? Why should I do this? I might do this. Why would I do? That is how I always behave. And after that, or during that period, I begin to be very confused. So it's to say, thought is the root of all evil. First of all, when you are meant to take a decision and then you let your thought in for long, you see that your thought will give birth to instant the spirit of confusion. So the thought of humanity over obedience has given birth to the spirit of confusion on earth so deep that almost every being, 98% of humanity, are confused in life. 98% of humanity are confused in life, thinking that life is all about eat, watch movie, have money, get married, and then die. Maybe go to church, as you may say, but That is not even that is the surface of your mind. That is your thought. That word, you see, thinking that life is about eating, going to work, going to church or and school, getting married, having some couple of dollars in your account is everything you are. That is the reason why you are here. That is the purpose of you being on earth. Then, just so you know that your thought is manipulating you. If you are among, let me confirm this for you now. If you are among the people that thinks that you are here just for to get educated, um um to get educated, right? Um, go to church, get some good paying job, get some couple of dollars in your account, get married. If that is all you think about life, then you are lost in your thoughts, because there's more to it. Life is a journey rooted on that test every second. So, so every day of your life is a new beginning for you to begin to think differently, for you to begin to choose differently. Now, when you're in the situation whereby you think nobody's watching you, but you saw somebody on the road and you felt an inner nudge that said, offer. And I said, why should I offer? Am I the one that placed him in that condition? Why should I give them? You have failed the test from life that second. Because once you feel any nudge to do something, do it, because your body speaks the language beyond time. So you shouldn't disobey your body. Don't disobey your body because of your thoughts. Why? Because when you begin to say, "Am I the one who sent them? Why would they be broke?" You are speaking from thought, from this place, from a place of if. You see, the spirit of thought lie into existence, because when you are caught doing something bad, or when you are, because you know that this thing you're about to do is bad, right? So when you are stealing, or maybe you are stealing and you say, don't worry, I'll just steal. I mean, if they catch me, I will think of lie to lie. Have you said that word before? I will think of lie that I will give them. Have you used that word before? Like, maybe you are doing something bad and you say, I will think of lie that I will offer when I'm being exposed. Have you said that word before? You see, the word thought was there. Yes. Every evil is connected to thought. If you don't surrender thought to obedience, you will get lost full time. Let me continue first. So so let's continue. When I get home tonight, if there is no food at home, I will still. Do you hear that word is a thought? You've not getting home already. You are still where you are. You've not getting home already. But your thought has already said, get ready to steal. Your thought has already told you to get ready to steal. Your thought never tells you truth. Your thought never tells you truth. It tells you lie. Because the thought was founded for lie, or for the purpose of lie. How do I mean? So after the thought came in first, oh, so I will not certainly die, I'll be like God. So I will not certainly die. I will not taste like God. That is the thought. That was the thought. That is the thought growing. No, so I will not. So I will not taste like God. Be wise as God. Speak from cloud like God. That is desire growing. Okay, so when I grow this, nobody will command me on fruit to eat or not to eat again. Then you've grown to take action in disobedience. Now, when after the action in disobedience, what comes next? Defense. Defense comes in. Defense steps in. But when you disobey, you would love to defend your being. So have you ever have you ever did something wrong and then you were asked, you felt like no, I can't say the truth. I'll be jailed. I'll be beaten to death. I'll be flogged. I'll be this. I'll be shamed. People will laugh at me. Have you ever think of that? So therefore, let me just lie. I mean, even if I lie, nobody will know the truth. You, by that, you are making a wrong choice entirely. First of all, starting from the fact that you are making the choice. Well, I just paused a little because I don't know if you will really understand if I don't break it down. Like when I'm giving you the message, I love to pin it. I love to pin them up so that you understand, so that you don't get lost to the story of this life. The journey, the first war of divine beings are between thoughts and obedience. Digest that. Who is obedient? Abraham. Who is thought? Eve. Let's pause here. I will post part 3 the next minute.